Guys, it's Tommy here from AirCompare. This video just basically demos all the technical sort of pieces that we had built for the hackathon. If you guys want to see the main demo video, that's another video that's on the main contest page. But yeah, let's take a look at how it's built. Now, I have the Chrome extension here, and I'm just going to start tracing some of the calls to the backend just to sort of confirm that we are calling OpenShift servers. So I'm just gonna put a date here, and oops, sorry, recording the network calls. So this is a fresh call, which means that there hasn't been any caching involved. So we'll see. We are basically calling our servers, and we'll just filter by OpenShift. So basically, it's calling my app here, the Javelin app, and basically it's grabbing a whole bunch of stuff. Now, as you can see, the run took a bit of time just because it hasn't been cached. I'm just going to open this again, and as you see, because of the cache, it's going to come up pretty quick. So let's just try that here with the network again. So as you can see, it took a lot less time because of the cache. So that's the first thing I want to show. If we go into the console there, we can see that I have three apps deployed. One is the Javelin app, which is written in Kotlin and basically deployed as a Javelin server. And the other app I have is a DataGrid app that helps with the caching. So all of the calls that we're doing, we basically cache it, except for the lift call, which doesn't take much time to come back. The other thing that we built, that we had to build actually, was a sort of a Starwood wrapper on an API, because they don't actually, Starwoods is a hotel chain and they don't actually have an API. So what we had to build was a scraper that basically went on their site and just kind of extract out key pieces of information that gave us back sort of a nice JSON. So as you see here, let me just change this. It will go to our server, which then will call this Starwoods information. First call takes a little bit of time, obviously, just so that it needs to grab the information. So this is all basically from the Starwoods API, and that's also cached as well. The other cool thing that we do with the cache is when we call out to different APIs, for example, Sabre, it comes back with an access token. So first of all, we have to OAuth first, and then it comes back with the access token, and then we can use it. But the problem is it expires in a while. So DataGrid actually helped us in this case a lot, because we can just basically stick the access token right into the DataGrid and give it a time to live, which is exactly what we need. So we just always query the DataGrid server first to get the access token, and if it's not there, we can safely assume that the access token has expired. So that was another cool use case of the way we used DataGrid. So let's look at the pods for now. For example, so the pods are basically the running pods are the actual instances. If you dig into it and you look at the logs, we can actually see all of the responses and whatnot. And then DataGrid basically is our cache. So we get a lot of puts here for hello, which is I ping it. But we also should have a bunch of calls that just came in. So right here, for instance, Starwood calls and the car rental calls and whatnot. And then deployment basically is the deployments we have, and the builds are basically coming from the repository. And I guess the only other thing to show here is basically creates an image, a Docker image from it. So it's nothing that fancy. I'm using Javelin, which basically is a server, sort of an Express server. And the only kind of interesting thing to know here is it builds a jar called app, which then we reference in our build, which is I believe somewhere in here. So the Java app jar is the app.jar, which we defined. And yeah, that's pretty much it from a technical perspective. Thank you.